What's up, guys? Welcome. So if you're like me, you have struggled for a long time to figure out the menstrual cycle. But to make it easier, I decided to make a little sketch to try to help me and anyone else that's interested be able to remember it fairly quickly. So here we see the typical menstrual cycle, how it's presented. The endometrium down here, at the bottom, what the endometrium looks like inside the uterus. Up here we have the follicle and the ovary and what it looks like over a time period. And day 14. That's pretty important. We have the follicular phase and the luteal phase. What's an easy way to remember this? Well, I decided to make a little sketch. All right, here's some labels for you. So we have the primary follicle, which is the first thing, primary, number one. Secondary follicle, which is being towed right here, towed by a vessel, like a ship, a vessel. And this is called the vesicular follicle. So we have the primary follicle, secondary follicle, then a vesicular follicle. Day 14. We go back to day 14. Day 14 is when ovulation happens. The ship that was carrying our vesicle has been tipped over by a big wave. What's that wave? I'm glad you asked. Here we have a guy with a lemon head. Right there. Lemon head. That's a terrible arrow. Here we have a guy, lemon head. LH. Luteinizing hormone wave, causing ovulation. All right, so let's continue here. Next we have a corpse of a ship. Corpse. Luteum. I thought of lantern. So here we have a guy. He's on the corpse of a ship with a lantern. Then it regresses. It's called regression. And then it goes to a corpus albicans, a white corpus, a white corpse. All right, let's go down here under the ocean, under the sea. Let's start over here on the left. Here we have menses. Female has her period. The endometrium is sloughing off. That is called the proliferative phase, days 1 through 14. After day 14 is called days 14 through 28, secretory phase. Think of this as an underground volcano. On the right, we have our secretory phase with our little volcanoes here. And on the left, we have menses, which is kind of like a lava flow. So let's talk about all of the hormones. A lot of the questions I've seen in medical school, tests, boards, have to do with when things peak. All right, so first one we have here, eels, EELS, estrogen. Eels equal estrogen. So there's two E's in eels, and that means that there's two peaks. The first peak of estrogen, a little bit before day 13. Just remember that. And the second peak is towards the end, over here, maybe day 25, 24. Luteinizing hormone. Remember, lemon head riding the wave. This yellow line is luteinizing hormone. And that peaks just before day 14. Lemon head riding the wave. Fish. Just like some fish. Blue line, fish, FSH. They are curious to see what's going on. So FSH has a slight peak before ovulation, not quite as high as LH. But they're curious, So right before ovulation, they kind of have a little peak as well, around the same time as luteinizing hormone. Now, over here, we have this pink line here. Progesterone. Professional, a professional diver. Here we have some professional divers, and they have to make their way over the volcanoes over here on the right. So they have to swim over the volcanoes to get over them because they don't want to get burned by the volcanoes. So progesterone peaks, but it peaks in the secretory phase. All right, guys, there you go. Hopefully this helps. And if you want a copy of this, I'll put a link in the description, something like that. I'll try to see if I can get you a copy. No problem.